All right, this is question number 16 on our homework assignment WW, which is module 19.5, and this is definitely a multi-step question. What is the measure of arc DE? So the way I look at this class is I look at my information. I got 61. There's no central or inscribed angle here. Doesn't help me. 137 degrees. There is an inscribed angle DEH right here. And I can tell you, class, this is confusing, but this 89 degrees is not the measure of angle DEH, because if it were, then that would be half of 137, which would be my inscribed angle, and that's not what that is. So I'm going to tell you right now, this 89 degrees logically must be this angle right here. So I could find the measure of angle DEH by dividing 137 by 2. I'm not sure that's going to help me. Let's write that down just for fun. So the measure of angle DEH is equal to 137 divided by 2. 137 divided by 2 equals 68.5. So I know that's 68.5 degrees, but I'm pretty confident right now it's not going to help me. Oh, I do see something here. We've got two chords that are intersecting inside of a circle. And if you look at your flipbook class, bottom of section 3, we've got the properties of angles with circles, and there's a diagram in there that says angles inside the circle, and that tells us this. We know that this angle right here, the measure of angle 1, let's call that 89 degrees, must be equal to half of the sum of this arc measure plus this arc measure. So let's just give this a variable. Let's just call this x. I'll change to a different color. So arc DE is x, and that's going to give us our answer for number A. So I know that my relationship is the measure of this interior angle here with these two intersecting chords is 89, and that is equal to 1/2 of the sum of this arc. Now I'm looking at these two lines, these two arcs, HE and DG, this angle, or this arc measure, plus the measure of the opposite arc on the other side. So it looks like I just need to solve this. So 89 equals, let's see, half of 61 is 30.5 plus 1/2 of x. So let's just say x divided by 2. I don't want to deal with that fraction. Let's multiply both sides by 2. And that's fraction bust. So 89 at times 2, 160 is at 178 is equal to 30.5 times 2, we're back to 61. And now that I look at this, class, I could have just gotten rid of the fraction right away. That'd be a whole lot easier. Just multiply everything by 2, and I would have gotten right to here with one step. So anyway, found a shortcut, but I'm going to go the long way for now. So I'm back to 61 plus x. Now to subtract 61 from both sides, 178 minus 61. Oops. And there we go, 117. So I've got 117 equals x. So I just found what this value is. The measure of arc DE, let's write that in blue. The measure of arc DE is equal to 117 degrees. So I'll write that in here, 117 degrees. So there's my first answer. Next question is, what is the measure of angle F, and they're saying using your answer to part A. So I'm assuming this is going to help me, and I see that it does. I need to find out what the measure of this arc is, because these are two secant lines, DF and HF, or secant line segments. And that means I know there's a relationship between this angle and the measure of this arc that it cuts out and the measure of this arc that we know. And I can find the measure of arc EG pretty simple. So the measure of arc EG is equal to 360 minus 117 minus 137 minus 61. Let's find that. So we've got 360 minus 117 minus 137 minus 61 equals 45. Make sure you can see that. I can get this calculator to drag down lower so you guys can see it. There we go. So 45. So that means our missing arc is 45 degrees. So EG is 45 degrees. And now I can find the measure of this outside or circumscribed angle, which is outside of my circle. And I'm going to use the formula that I know. Again, it's right from my flip book, bottom of section 3. If we know that we have two secant lines and the angle is outside, then the measure of angle F is equal to 1/2, same formula we just used a moment ago, 1/2 of this angle minus this angle, this arc minus this arc. So 137 minus 45. So there's our formula. The measure of this, we'll call this angle 1, is equal to 1/2 of the measure of the outside arc minus the measure of the inside arc. So let's go ahead and solve this. The measure of angle F is equal to 1/2. 137 minus 45. And that is 92. 1/2 of 92. And 1/2 of 92 is 46. And I wrote 45, don't know why. So 46. So the measure of angle F is 46 degrees. And I'll put a little arrow right here. 46 degrees. And there is the solution. Tough problem, class. You have to think about all the things you know in your formulas about angle measures. You can notice here that we know nothing about the lengths of these chords or segments, so we know that we're going to be using angle relationships, and that's why in your flip book, bottom of section 3, you've got all the possible combinations of angle relationships, and using those skills we're able to figure out these missing values. I hope that helps you.